So actually what is this? Here you have material and the middle portion is hollow. In that middle portion I am keeping one another type of material. Suppose I am keeping any other material like this bar. Okay, so I am saying this red color you can say as any tube, you can consider it is any tube, and the black color you can consider it is any bar, but does not matter. Tube is also made up of any material, bar is also made up of any material. So you can see cross section area is definitely A1 and E value is E1 and length is same for both. In case of tube is made up of different material, so you say E2. Cross section area of tube you can see. How will you find out cross section area of the tube? You should know that how to find out hollow. So in that case, actually from this point, this radius and this radius you know. So you do pi r square minus pi r square. I mean if this radius is a small r1, this radius is small r2. So because hollow portion you have to subtract for the red tube. Na? Red tube material is only available in this cross section. So you find out the total cross section area, and in that you subtract that much portion where tube is not available, where material is not available. Then you can find out the area. Okay, so you see here you have one very good trick. What is our job here? Our job is when we apply load, suppose here I am putting any kind of shield, here also shield, here also shield. Now on that shield I am compressing the rod. So what will happen? This shielding will give both the bars will get compressed, but reality is every bar will not experience same amount of loading, right? Because why will they not consider same amount of loading? They have because they have the different material. Because of different material, both the bars will experience different loading. So suppose you are applying P loading. Imagine this black color bar is experiencing P1 loading, and this red color bar is experiencing P2 loading. So actually from the force conservation, from the force law, your P1 and P2 is coming because of P, so you got equation 1. And after that, one great concept is they both will get compressed same amount. So change in length of the black bar in change in length of the red color bar, it will be equal. So this change, how will you write? You apply the concept play. So P1 L by A1 E1. In same way P2 L by A2 E2. Now you understand. This E1 E2 I am writing different because material is different. One can be plastic, one can be iron, anything. And P1 P2 why I am writing different because they both will experience different P1 P2. And P1 P2 is going to be P. So our job is from this equation you find out either P1 value or P2 value, any one. So let's find out P1 value, that is going to be P2. Then you can see that LL will get cancelled and A1 E1 you send this side. So A1 E1 A1 E1 E1 divide by A2 E2. So this portion we can substitute in the place of P1, means here you have P1 value. So you substitute P2 A1 E1 divided by A2 E2 plus P2 is equal to P. Then you take P2 common. So when you will take this P2 common, it's like P2 you take common, whatever will be inside is equal to P. So you found P2 value, then substitute P2 value here. So you should remember here P1 P2 values. So for that I am giving you direct trick how to remember P1 formula. So see, P1 formula will also contain P value, and this P1 formula is going to be like this: A1 E1 plus A2 E2, and you multiply here with A2 E2 when you are finding out P1 formula. This is how you will find out P1 formula. Now how will you find out P2 formula? P, then again A1 E1 plus A2 E2, and after that you multiply with A1 E1. So with the help of this you can find out your P1 and P2. Okay, so we have so many concepts based on this. Now I am going to teach you the very important concept today, that is known as thermal stresses. Thermal stresses are highly important. So, and sometimes students feel difficulty in the thermal stresses. So, but it is actually very easy. You need some fundamental before going to thermal stress. So let's start thermal stress.